My dad was always a dreamer. He did a lot of things. I mean, he owned 2 or 3 businesses. He had a ready-mix concrete plant. I'd always been around trucks and equipment. At the age of 8, I could drive a forklift. By the time I was 12, working down at the plant, I could drive dump trucks, loaders, graders, you name it. I would see these trucks go by all the time, and I thought, man, I love trucking, I love equipment. Right out of high school, I knew I always had a job working for my dad, but at the time I was making $2 an hour, and I eventually couldn't take it anymore. Truck driving at that time paid 9 cents a mile. So I went from making $80 a week to $270 for 3,000 miles. I'm like, I'm in heaven. Why would I do anything else? So I set my sights on buying my own truck. What am I gonna do? I didn't go to college. My parents have always had business. They were always very successful. I need to be successful, but I'm not gonna be successful the conventional way. I always kept going forward. So I started talking to my friend about, with your mechanical ability and my self-proclaimed ability to get a business going through trucking, we should get together. Why don't we go with one name, Mesilla Valley Transportation? We live in the Mesilla Valley. So what do I need? I need another truck. So I went and bought a 3rd truck, and then a 4th truck, and then a 5th truck. And with our fuel mileage knowledge, next thing you know, we're at 200, 250, 300. Now we're at 1350. You can't run 1,300 trucks out of one town. So I started deciding I should spread out. So how am I gonna do that? I need brick and mortar. I need more mechanics. So we gotta start thinking a little bit different again. We all have this pride and ownership. Oh my, I gotta own this thing. I can't make the payments and never own it. Well, can't you? We got into this thing with Penske. I started talking, I called Fred, said, hey man, I got this idea. I'd like to do about 200 trucks with you and try some different things on the shop. And I think it's something totally different that they can make us stand out again. So if I lease the truck from Penske and they give me the right price, and if they can give me a substitute truck and a fixed cost per mile, minus whatever my driver does, I can run this truck. If the cost per mile goes above, deal with the factory, man. Guess who can deal with the factory a lot better than me? For my driver, you'll be pulling my trailer and you're driving this big, beautiful blue truck that says Mesilla Valley on it, but it also says Penske on it. They got 750 shops around the country. If he's going to Detroit and the truck breaks down in St. Louis, get your shaving kit and a clean set of shorts and t-shirt, take this Penske truck and go to Detroit and unload and reload. On the way back, stop and pick up your truck. We found a way that we think is really gonna help them and help us and lower the cost for both of us and make my drivers happy. That's just part of the Roger Penske way of doing things. I think that just stands out there like, what are you gonna hear bad about them? Nothing. So many trucking companies that were started by someone, and the younger generation takes over. Do they know anything about trucks? If we're gonna run Penske trucks, do they need to? If they can take and run the same spec and keep adding to it and negotiate, we can run.